Okay, my name is Clyde Burnette, Sr.
And the years you were at Newnan High School? When you went to Newnan High School?
Oh, I was in high school here in 1942. I left to go in the Army in November of 42, I think.
All right. What activities were you involved in while you were at NHS?
While I was what?
What activities were you involved in?
Here at school?
Yes, sir.
I went out for football, but I was too small, but I went out anyway, but I never did get to play none. But that's about all. All the school activities I was involved in.
While at Newnan, do you recall any teachers that made a positive impact on your life?
Any who?
Any teachers?
Teachers? Yeah, Miss Mariella Camp. She, I guess she made an impression on everybody. Actually, I think she's about the only one I remember the name. She was ninth grade English teacher. Like I said, I dropped out of school in 42 in ninth grade and went into service. They awarded me about 4 or 5 years ago diploma. I took a GED test in the Army, and I had a high school diploma for GED diploma. And when I did that, I'm trying to think of the principal's name then. Matthews, I believe. He wouldn't give me a certificate from Newnan High School. But I was in San Angelo, Texas, and they gave me a certificate, a high school diploma from San Angelo, Texas. That's about it.
Did Newnan provide you any opportunities that affected you later in life?
Well, like I told you, I was earlier I was a paper boy. I delivered papers on LaGrange Street out here. And like I said, my last stop was right directly across the street over here. And then I went to work for a grocery store as a clerk, and then furniture store. And from there I went into service. That's the only 3 jobs I had while I was, before I went in service.
In your opinion, what makes Newnan a special place to go to school?
Well, now I think we just had a small school when I went to school here. Now, this is fabulous. It's nothing like what we had on Temple Avenue, you know, where the Veterans Park is. That's where the high school was. And they had all of this area here went to that one school. But other than that, it's just such a good place to live. It wasn't as friendly a town and as broad a mixture of people then as it is now. It was more, well, it was segregated from the blacks and the whites, and it was more or less segregated from the poor from the rich. And I sure wasn't one of the rich. But anyway, it just, I like it here. I don't live here right now. I live in Fayette County now. But I like Newnan. I always have. It's always been called it my home.
What did you go on to do after high school?
Went to war. I spent 21 years in the service. I made it a career. And so So I've been out of that. I didn't really have too much to do after that. But, well, that's about it.
Do you recall any historical events occurring that you heard about while in school?
Well, World War II was started, and I think that's a big event. That's the reason I dropped out of school. I knew as I was 18, when I was 18, and I knew that I was going to get drafted, so I just volunteered so I could give them what I wanted to do in the service. I wanted to go to the aircraft maintenance school. And as I found out, when I got the classification, if I hadn't have waited till the Army put that into effect, if you enlisted, you could request your own whatever you wanted to do. If you had got drafted, you went where they wanted you to go. So when I went to classification, after I got in, they didn't know anything about that Army thing about going where you wanted to. And I had to go to classification 3 times before they finally gave me, they want to make a cook and baker out of me. And then they wanted me to be a radio operator. And then they finally said, yeah, you can go where you want to. And so I went to aircraft maintenance school. And, excuse me, I flew as an engineer for about 12 years. And then I went into maintenance for the rest of my time in. I was in an office, a maintenance control office. We did all the scheduling of maintenance and all for that. But my throat's talking like that, I get hoarse. Actually, water jug there somewhere. Oh, I did. I set it over there. Probably threw it away. Yeah, thank you. Baby.
I guess that's all.
What else?
That's all we had.
That's all?
Yes, sir.